Okay, so before I start this video, I want to thank all of you guys for 300 subscribers. I can't believe we already hit 300. Like a week has only passed, and I've gained 100 more subscribers, which is absolutely crazy. And I just want to thank all of you guys. And this will kind of be like a 300 subscriber special, but I probably won't have that in the title. So yeah, so this will be kind of like a 300 subscriber special. So this is gonna be part 1 to what if Deku was a ghoul. So let's get into it. So we start our story off with Deku. He is 14 years old, and he has a date. He has met up with this girl named Rise. There you go. Yeah, Rise, I think that's her name. Yeah. He's meeting up with this girl Rise for a date. And yeah, they go on the date. Deku takes her to like a coffee shop, the mall, and pretty much anywhere that she would like. So yeah, the date goes well. It's getting late. Deku is walking Rise home, but then Rise turns left into an alleyway, and Deku says, do you live this way? Ria says, yeah, but this is a shortcut that I like to take. I know it's kind of scary, but it's a lot quicker to get to my house this way. And Deku's just follows her. And eventually they get out of the alleyway and into this construction site. And Rise turns around and she says, "Thank you for following me. Thank you for walking me home." Deku says, "Yeah, no problem. It was my pleasure, but we're not near any neighborhoods, so." And Rise says, "I know, but it's getting late, and I don't want you to get home late." And she goes in for a hug. Deku hugs her back, but then this is when Rise bites him on the neck, and she says, "Yeah, thank you for the meal." Deku is in shock and fear and in pain. He drops to one knee and he starts crawling backwards. Rise is saying, "Yeah, thank you for the meal, kid. It's been a long time since I've eaten someone. I just love human flesh." And then something happens. Out of nowhere, a pile of steel beams comes collapsing on both of them. Deku severely injured, but Rise didn't make it, and she died. Deku is rushed to the hospital, and yeah, the doctors are saying like that he's in critical condition, and they look at Rise and they say like she didn't make it. One of the doctors say her organs might help this young man survive. So the doctor would say, "Okay, let's see if her organs would help this man." So they would take out Rise's organs and do and replace Deku's organs with hers. And yeah, it does work. The surgery was successful, but Deku feels different. He feels different. Everything that he eats tastes gross. Everything that he used to love tastes gross. He couldn't eat anything. All he can eat was flesh, human flesh. He tried to comprehend what was happening to him. He's saying, "What's happening to me? Like, why does everything I eat taste gross?" And he's just going crazy. Deku lives on his own because his mom died and Hisashi, his dad, it just left them. So yeah, Deku lives alone. Deku is freaking out. He's saying like, "What's happening to me? What's happening to me?" And he goes on the street, or he puts on a hoodie and just takes a walk to clear his mind. He walks. He sees everyone. He's in his mind like, food, food, tasty, tasty food. But then he has to. Then he snaps out of it. He says, "No, no. Why am I thinking like this? Like humans aren't food, but they look so good." Deku's like going back and forth between like his ghoul state and his human state. Eventually, he goes into a different coffee shop. He orders some coffee, and he wants to know if he at least can drink coffee, and he does. Like coffee is the only thing that actually tastes good to him. And yeah, so for a few weeks, Deku just drinks coffee and does not eat anything else. But eventually, his ghoul instinct takes over, and one of his eyes turns red, like the one in the picture. One of his cogones sprouts out of his back, or like his lower back or something. I forgot where it is. And he's just saying, "Food. I've had enough. I've had enough." And he just runs out of his house. He goes into an alleyway. He sees a bunch of thugs, doing drugs or whatever. One of them looks at Deku and says, "Who are you, kid? Like, get out of here." Deku, he looks crazy. He says like, "Food, food, tasty, tasty, food." And the thugs are saying like, "You're like, get out of here, kid, or else." And I'm gonna say that one of the thugs can turn his arms into like weapons, so he turns his arm into a sword. And Deku, he's not freaking out. He's just saying like, "Food, I need food." And then Deku's cogones, or like two of them, like sprout out of his back. And Deku charges at the thugs. The one that has a sword, charges at him too. But Deku, or as the man is about to slice Deku pierces him with his two cogones in his stomach, and ripping him in half. And the other guys are freaking out. He's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And Deku says, "Food. I need food. I need more." And then he starts killing the other people. And eventually, he kills them. And then he says, "Food, tasty, tasty food." Then he starts eating them, all of them at once. He's shoving them down his throat because he hasn't eaten anything in weeks. And then, when he's almost done eating the humans, or the people, he snaps back it. He snaps out of it, and his cogones, or actually no, he looks around, and he doesn't remember where he is. All he sees is like a couple of bones and like pieces of flesh on the ground. His hand is covered in blood, and he looks to his right and left, and he sees two tentacle-like things are sprouting from his back. Deku's thinking, what is this? Is this my quirk? I don't have one though. And Deku, he's like seeing like the dead bodies that he's eaten. And he's just like, "Did I do this? Like, how did I eat? I'm not like, I don't eat humans, or like I don't eat people. Like people aren't food." And he's just crying about what he did. And out of nowhere, old man shows up, and he says, "So, you're a ghoul." Deku turns around and he says, Who are you? The man says, I am... Oh shoot, I don't even know his name. Oh crap. Sorry. But that old man that took Kaneki in for the first time, the one that owns the coffee shop, yeah, that's him. The one I'm talking about. I just can't remember his name. So put down... One of you guys can put down the name of the man. I just can't remember. So yeah. And so your ghoul instincts has taken over you. Deku says, Ghoul? What do you mean a ghoul? And the man says, I know this, you're going through a tough time, but I just wanted to say that you're no longer human. Deku says, I'm no longer human? What do you mean? The man says, you have been turned into a ghoul. A one-eyed ghoul. You're like the first one I've ever seen that's only a one-eyed ghoul. Deku says, a ghoul? Like, what are ghouls? And the man says, ghouls are like humans, but they act different. Ghouls have been around for centuries, like around since like a couple 100 years. They have been preying. They've been eating humans. They have been living in human society for hundreds of years. People didn't know about the ghouls until they started attacking people. People have seen the ghouls and their cognate, their eyes turning red with black. And like Deku, he's like crying. He's saying like, so I'm no longer human. I'm one of them. And the man says, yes, you are now a ghoul. He says, come here. I'll take you to a place where you'll be safe. So Deku, he follows the man into a coffee shop. And it's the same one that he got coffee from. Got coffee from earlier, or yeah. And he says, "Oh, I've been in here before." The man says, "That's right. You've gotten coffee here. I knew something was off about you. I just didn't know what. And now I know why. You're a ghoul." And a girl walks through the door, and she says, "Okay, that's the last of them. I finished up closing the shop." The man says, "Thank you, Toka." And yeah, Toka is in this one, and I'm making her younger because in Tokyo Ghoul, I think they're in like their first year of university or like their last year of high school. So yeah, I'm just gonna make them younger, so it's the first year, so they're gonna be like in high school soon. So yeah, Toka says like, "Who is this?" The man says, "This is... Oh, I forgot to ask you. I forgot your name. Like, what's your name?" Deku says, "I'm Azuka Midoriya." And Toka says, "Oh, my name is Toka something. I can't remember her name. I'll have to look it up." Anyway, so the man says, "Young Midoriya here will start living with us." And Toka will say, "What? Why? Like, what? Why?" And the man would say, he has been turned into a ghoul, and he is no longer safe in the outside world. And Toka would say, "So that's not our problem. Like, why does it matter to us that he's turned into a ghoul?" And the man would say, "That's the reason I'm telling you is the same reason I took you in when you were turned into a ghoul." Or I don't know if she was born a ghoul. I would just say that she was turned into one. Like, I took you in when you were turned into a ghoul, Toka. Now I'm doing the same for this young man. She says, fine, whatever. So the man would start showing Deku around the coffee shop and upstairs where he would be staying. He would say like, we have an extra room, but it's filled with junk, and we'll have to clean it up. We'll have to clean it up tomorrow. Deku says, oh, thank you, sir. Oh, I'll just sleep here, and I'll just sleep on the floor. The man would say, nonsense. You should sleep on that couch right there. Deku would say, thank you, sir. And the man would say, would sit down with him. He says, the man would say, so how's your experience going right now? And Deku saying, it's crazy. You're saying that I'm no longer human. Like, I don't know why things like food taste gross to me, and I don't know why human flesh tastes so good. I don't know what's happening to me. He's like freaking out. And the man is saying, that's all of that is called being a ghoul. Ghouls have only learned how to eat flesh, have only seen human flesh as their only food source. And only recently they've learned that coffee is another food source that they like, that keeps them health, like helps them to survive. It's not as effective as human flesh, but it still helps them. It still helps their hunger. And Deku is saying like, this is just crazy. The man says, you'll get used to it eventually. Deku would say, so, are you a ghoul? The man would say, yes, I am one. And then he turns his eyes red and black. And Deku would say like, wait, both of your eyes are red and black. The man would say, yes, I'm a full ghoul. You are one-eyed ghoul, so basically half ghoul, half human. So Deku would say, half ghoul, half human. So if I'm half human, how come food still tastes gross to me? I'm only half ghoul. Shouldn't like food taste at least half decent, or like decent to me? And I would say no, that it doesn't work like that. Once you're a ghoul, half or full, human food would never taste good. Never taste good, ever again. Deku would say, so what am I supposed to eat now? I can't go around just killing people and eating them. The man would say, I have a solution. And he would bring a little pack of like meat. I think it was human food or whatever. Like, I don't know what it was. But he would hand it to Deku, and Deku would say, what is this? And the man would say, it's human flesh or something. I don't really know what it was. He would say, it tastes like human flesh, but it isn't. And Deku would smell it and then take a bite, and he would say, this is really good. And he would just start eating it. The man would say, yes, we bought it. Like, it was made for ghouls to eat instead of humans. And yeah, Deku, he starts living in the coffee shop with the man and Toka. Toka and Deku have been kind of getting along. Like, Deku would start working at the coffee shop. Like, he would make some mistakes here or there. Toka would get mad at him. He will feel bad, and then but they wouldn't hate each other. They can't get along they don't get along easily. And a year, 10 months have passed. Deku, not 10 months, I want to say 3 months have passed. So Deku, he has learned the ways of the ghouls. He learns how to hide his Kagane. He knows how to control his ghoul instincts. He knows how to hide his one eye, his ghoul eye. he knows how to like pretend to eat food, human food, and all that. And eventually he would get his mask. Toka would show him the guy that makes the masks for ghouls, and Deku's would be the same as Kaneki's, the one in the picture. And yeah, but one day, as Deku, he's returning to school, or as he's walking home, he's walking towards the coffee shop from school. Then a man comes out of nowhere and starts to tie Deku up. Deku's saying like, "What's happening? Like, what are you doing?" The man says, "Be quiet," and knocks Deku out. When Deku wakes up, he's tied down to a chair in this big empty room with a man. Deku says, "What's happening? Who are you?" The man would say, "I am What's his name? I'm so sorry. I just can't remember any of the names of the Tokyo Ghoul. It's been a while since I've last seen it. I probably should watch it again. Anyways, so the man would start saying like his name and all that. Then the torture would begin. He would be ripping off Deku's fingers, wrists, toes, his feet, and sometimes even his forearms. Deku, he'll be crying out of pain, and yeah, and then the man would shove a centipede up his left ear, and yeah, and this will be going on for 2 weeks. Actually, a month. There we go. I don't know if it took that long for Kaneki, but I'm gonna just say that it took a month for Deku. So, for a month, Toka and the man have been trying to look for Deku, but they can't really look unless they're in their ghoul form, like their Kagenes are out and whatnot. They can't really find him, or they can't really do anything to find him. And yeah, eventually they would get a lead into that military place. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, Toga would go there to save Deku, and then she would fight her brother. I keep forgetting his name, but yeah, she would fight her brother. Eventually, Deku, he would just snap, his hair would turn white, and Deku would just break out of the chair and start fighting the man that tortured him. It would go the same as in canon, from Kaneki and the man's fight. And in canon, Deku would go for a kick to the face. The man would grab his leg, then Deku would just twist his whole body to hit him on the other side of his head, breaking his other leg in the process. But it'll just heal. And then Deku would just kill the man with his Kagenes. And yeah, then Deku would escape, and then he would save Toka from her brother. As Toka's about to die, or about to get hit by her brother's Kagane, the spikes or whatever that he throws. Deku would just come in the middle of it and just deflect all of them with his Kagenes. And then pick up Toga and leap, jump away from the fight, to a high place, or not, 20 feet away from the fight. Then he would set Toga down. Toga would be happy, but also would be kind of sad that Deku has been missing, and Deku would start fighting the brother. It would go exactly the same, but Deku, he wouldn't go with him with the military company or whatever. He wouldn't do none of that. He would just fight him, defeat him, and leave with Toga. he would eventually come back to the coffee shop where the man has been waiting, and the man sees that Deku's hair has turned completely white. His nails have turned black, and he has his mask on. Or not his mask. His mask is not on. But yeah, he looks normal besides his white hair and his black toenails or his black nails. So yeah, the man has hugged Deku like many times and was saying like, don't, like, I'm so glad you're safe and all that. And yeah, that happens. Deku would start. Deku would just start fighting he would start like going out at night trying to defeat the people that kill the ghouls. Like, yeah, the company that killed, like the military company that kills the ghouls, he would go out to kill them. And he does that. Sometimes he does kill people, but he sometimes eat them. And yeah, I'm gonna say that this has been going on around the news. Like the news, Deku, he has been on the news. There's been this guy that has been attacking military operations and killing people, and they're wondering who this man is and what his quirk is. Because I'm gonna say that ghouls, like, they're still around, but a few of them, like, when quirks started popping up, the ghouls started to die down because people were starting to get like superpowers like fire, water, and they would just use those to kill the ghouls. And I'm gonna say 90% of the ghoul population like dropped, and only 10% of the populations are still alive. And yeah, but the ghouls aren't known to, like, the heroes don't know, people don't know, only like the military, whatever the name of it is called, knows. So it's like a secret war that's happening in the shadows. And yeah, so this has been going around the news. Deku, he's like exactly the same as Kaneki. He's broken. He doesn't really talk. And yeah, eventually Deku would be 15, and then the UA entrance exams would arrive. The man would say, hey, Midoriya. Deku would say, yeah, what's up? The man would say, I know that you wanted to go to UA. Deku would say, yeah, so yeah. The man would say, well, they're having entrance exams today, and this might be your chance to get into UA. Deku would say, no way. Like, how am I supposed to get in without showing my Koganes? And like, yeah, they're gonna figure out that it's me they're gonna figure out that it's me. And the man would say, nonsense. Ghouls have superhuman strength and speed. You can just use your super strength to, like, do the tests and whatnot. And plus, you're already smart, so I'm pretty sure you can get in. I could say, okay, fine. And the man would say, like, Toka, you should go to UA too. She would say, why? Like, I don't need school. The man would say, so you can keep an eye out for Deku or for Midoriya. But Deku would say, I don't need someone to babysit me. Just if Toga doesn't want to come, that's fine with me. I'll do this on my own. And yeah, Toka would kind of get mad and says, you know what, I will go. Seems that Deku, I'm gonna say that she calls him Deku. and the man calls him Midoriya. So Toka would say, yeah, Deku, he's pretty he's a baby, so I guess someone needs to watch him. Deku would just roll his eyes and just walk towards Yue, along with Toka. So the entrance exams would happen. Deku would get the same score as in canon because he's as smart as a canon Deku. And then the robot test. Deku and Toga have been split apart. Deku is in like arena like 2, and Toga is in arena 3. So yeah. So there's 4 arenas. Deku's in the second and Toga's in the third one. Okay, so Deku, he would walk up to the front of the gate, but then Ito would stop him because he would think that he's gonna distract that girl. Ito would say, like, you shouldn't distract people. They could be nervous, and you're just gonna. And then Deku would say, I'm not gonna distract people. Just because I'm walking towards someone doesn't mean I'm actually gonna talk to them. I'm just going to the in front of the gate so I can get a head start. And then Deku would just walk away. Ito would be kind of confused, but he would think that Deku is just someone that thinks that they're strong because of their quirk, and he just wants to show off. But Ito's thinking that Ito's thinking that he would do his best so he can show him that he's not the strongest one. So President Mike would say go. Deku would start running, and I would say that Deku, he is as fast as 10% of one for all. He would get faster eventually. So that's how fast he is, 10% of one for all. So he runs, he starts destroying robot after robot. He would hit 3-pointers, 2-pointers, and 1-pointers. And he would rack up 50 points in like 3 minutes. And then he would get 20 more points by hitting 10 2-pointers. So he would have 70 points in all total. Then the 0-pointer would show up. So Deku would see Uraraka trapped in the rubble. He says, I guess I have to save her. So Deku runs. As the robot is about to stomp on Uraraka, Deku catches the foot and lifts it up, and lifts the foot up, and Deku makes the robot lose balance, and the robot tips over. Deku would say, "Are you okay?" Uraraka would say, "Yeah, I think I just twisted my ankle though." And Deku would say, "Oh, it's no problem." He would pick up Uraraka and give her to Recover Girl to heal her ankle. Then Deku would leave. As Deku's walking back to the coffee shop, Toka, she would be behind Deku, and she would say, "So Deku, how'd it go?" And Deku would say, "It went fine. I saved a girl, so that's something." And Toka would say, "A girl?" And Deku would say, "Yeah. She was about to get crushed by a robot." And Toka, she would kind of get jealous. She would be annoyed, and she would say, "Is that so, huh?" And an annoyed face, or yeah. And she would say, "What have you say? If I was that girl, would you have saved me?" Deku would say, "Probably not. You're a ghoul too, so you have the same strength as me. Probably a little bit stronger." And Toka, she would get mad, and she would say, "Hey, that was mean." She would punch Deku. Deku would say, "Yeah, it's whatever." So they would arrive the man would say how'd it go. Deku would say it went well. Toga would say yeah, it went well too with me too. And the man would say, do you think you passed? Deku would say probably. Toga would say yeah, I did pretty good on the written test. And the man would say, well, we'll have to find out in a week. So a week passed. Deku has been training in like martial arts and like ways to strengthen his strength and all that without using his cognies and without using his eye, yeah. So Deku, he would get the acceptance letter from All Might. All Might would say like you got the highest points in the entrance exam. And yeah, Toka would get third place. Yeah, just third place. So yeah, Toka would say, so how'd you do, Deku? Deku would say, I got first place. Toka would say, oh, like that's cool. You beat me. And Deku would say, oh, that's cool, I guess. That means we're in UA now. Toga would say, yeah, you know what class you're in? Deku would say, I'm in class 1A. And she would say like, oh, that's cool, I'm in that class too. And Deku would say, oh, really? At least we won't be separated. And Toka would kind of get a little, she would like blush a little and she'll say, yeah, because she thought of it as a different way. And yeah, they would get to UA. Like, they'll be one of the first ones. Like, Momo and Todoroki, they'll already be there. They would introduce themselves. Deku would just say, my name is Midoriya, and just sit down. And yeah, then the rest of the class would start, like, coming in. Eventually, the whole class is here. Then Aizawa would show up, and he would say, shut up, meet me outside, and put these uniforms on. So Deku, he stands up along with Toga and just walk with the uniforms to the changing rooms. Aizawa would say, oh, those two, they seem promising. So they would change. They would see that Deku is ripped. He has the most muscle out of all of them. And yeah, they would get outside. Aizawa would throw the ball to Deku. He would say, what was your farthest softball throw in middle school? Deku would say 70 meters. 70 meters. Aizawa would say, okay, now throw it by using your cork this time. Deku says, okay. So Deku would walk up, he would throw it, getting, I'm gonna just say, I don't know. Just because I want to make Deku a little OP in this one, I'm gonna say that he would get 852 meters. And Aizawa would say that was pretty impressive. And then everyone would start doing the test. Deku would do the strength test. He would beat everyone. He would beat beat everyone. Side to side lunges, he would get third place. What else? The 50-meter dash, he would get first place. No, he would tie with Ida. Then yeah, he would get overall he would get first place. And Toga, she did similar. I'm gonna say, yeah, Toga would have gotten second place. And yeah. Anyways, so the test is over. They would leave, and it would be the next day. Then All Might would show up, and he would start explaining like the exercise, and he tells everyone to get in their hero suits. And Deku's hero suit would be similar as in canon, not the one that his mom made, but the one that he has. But except it would be black. Would be black. What else? Well, what else? Be black and red. And it'll be a little it'll be a little less baggy, if you know what I mean. And yeah, he would have a black mask with like some red, like marks, like red, with red too. So yeah. So they would get ready. Toka's costume would be similar to Deku's, and yeah. So the same teams as in canon, Deku and Uraraka versus Bakugo and Ida. And I must say that Deku he remembers Bakugo, but Bakugo doesn't remember him because he doesn't remember Deku at all. And yeah. So All Might would say match begin, and Deku and Uraraka would walk inside. Then Bakugo would come at them. Deku would grab Uraraka's hand and dodge the attack. Deku would jump and punch Bakugo in the stomach, sending Bakugo to a wall. What else? So Bakugo would get up. He would start shooting explosions. Deku would be dodging them. Then Deku would kick Bakugo, then punch, then do a combo, and then knock out Bakugo. So Bakugo's out of the match. They would capture him with the capture tape. And yeah. They would start running towards the bomb. Eventually, they would get to the bomb. Deku would say, "Okay, here's the plan. I'll distract him while you go get the bomb." Uraraka would say, "Yeah, okay." So Deku would start fighting Ida, but Uraraka would sneak past both of them, or like sneak past Ida, and touch the bomb. And then All Might would say, "Hero team wins." Uraraka would say, that was fun. That we did it. We won. And Deku would say, "Yeah, we did." Toka would see this, and she would get kind of jealous. And yeah. The same matches would be the same, except for, I would say that Mineta won't be there. Toga will be replacing Mineta in this one. So yeah. So yeah, the USJ. They're on the bus, and they're talking about their quirks. And Sue would ask Deku what of his quirk. Deku would say, "Oh, I just have an enhancement quirk." And Sue would say, "Is that it?" Deku would say, "Yeah, but I trained it so to make it stronger than it actually was when I first manifested it. I can't even say the word manifest. Yeah." And then Sue would ask Toka's about her quirk too. And Toka would say, "I also have an enhancement type quirk." And Sue would ask, "Are you guys related?" But they would say no. But their parents were friends, so we basically grew up together. And so they just had to lie. They just lied. And then they would arrive. 13 would be there. She would start explaining the what was it? What was it? Oh yeah, the USJ. Sorry, I'm a little rusty right now. Um. Anyways, so she would start explaining the USJ. Then the portal would open. Deku would notice this. Then he would tell Aizawa that there's villains here. Aizawa would say, "Get back. These are real villains." Then he would jump down and start taking down the villains. Kirigiri would teleport everyone. Sorry about that cut, guys. Anyways, so Kirigiri would teleport the students all around the USJ. Deku, Toka, and Sue would be teleported into the water zone. Deku, he would be about to get hit, bitten by the shark villain, but then Toka would punch it away, kick it away, and then they would both rise to the surface. And Toka would say, "Are you okay, Deku?" Deku would say, "Yeah, I'm fine, thanks." Then Sue would grab both of them and put them on the boat. Sue would say, "This is really bad. We need to get out of here." Deku would say, "Oh, okay, I'll cause a distraction while you two get away." Sue would say, "No, that's too dangerous." Deku would say, "I'll be fine. They don't seem that tough." So Deku would just jump back into the water and just start attacking the villains. And Tokyo would say, "That's the distraction. Let's go." So they would both jump out of the water. They jump out of the boat and onto land. Then Deku would be fighting off the villains. One of them Deku would say, "Since no one's here, I might as well use them." So Deku would turn into his ghoul form. His Kaganes would pop out, and he would start killing villains, or not would start fighting off villains, not killing them, because he doesn't want to look suspicious. So he would just throw them away, throwing them, and grabbing their legs and hitting them against the boat and rocks and whatever. Then Deku would jump out of the water. Then he would see Toka fighting this giant monstrous thing, and it's Nomu. And Deku would say, this is not good. So Deku, he would start running, and Toga's about to get hit by the Nomu. But then Deku, he would push Toga out of the way and get hit by the Nomu. And then Deku would be spitting out or coughing up spit, and he would be coughing, and Shigaraki would say, "Nomo, finish that kid off." And Deku, he would be dodging the Nomu's punches, but then the Nomu would grab Deku's leg and slam him towards the ground, and he would just start punching Deku hard, creating shockwaves every time he punches Deku. He has broken his skull, his ribs, his arms, almost the entire body is broken. But his regeneration is the only thing that's keeping him alive right now. And Toka seeing this, and she gets mad, and she would start. She would She would start attacking the Nomu, and she's trying her hardest not to show her Kagane, because she doesn't want to she doesn't want to be hunted down. And yeah. So she would start fighting the Nomu. The Nomu would punch her so hard that her rib cage broke. Deku would be barely getting up, and then Deku would grab onto the Nomu and start ripping, cutting him, or cutting the Nomu. He would climb on top of him and start cutting the brain, and this kills Nomu. Shigaraki would say, "Kurogiri, let's get out of here. They took down the Nomu." So they both get out of there. then All Might, he would show up. Then he would see Deku. Deku would be lying on the ground, passed out. Toko would be like coughing, or like she would be passed out too. Like there would be blood, but like both of their bloods, both of them would be bleeding out. There we go. Both of them would be bleeding out, and yeah, so they would be at the hospital. They would get 2 weeks off from school. Deku would be recover. Both of them would be recovering at the hospital for for 4 days. Then they would get released from the hospital. Then they would be back to the coffee shop. And as they returned to the coffee shop, the man would say, "So, are you guys okay?" They would say, "Yeah, we're fine." And Toga is kind of hugging Deku and saying like, "You worried me, like don't ever do that again." Deku is kind of taken aback by this, and he says, "Yeah, I won't. I'm sorry." And the man would just smile at Deku, and yeah, Deku doesn't really get it, but yeah, he doesn't really know what he's like doing. Like, why is he smiling? Anyways, so Deku and Toka would be training for the sports festival. So yeah. So they would be learning. They'll just be training their strength and speed, and yeah. They would also be training their cognitives, and yeah. And when they were done training, they would go out to kill more of the people that work for that military company that kills ghouls. And it would be on the news again. The Deku would be on the news. And yeah. So then the 2 weeks are up. Sports festival time. Deku and Toka, they would start the sports festival. Deku and Toka, they would be at the front of the starting line for the race, and then when Midnight would say go, both of them just shoot off. Todoroki's ice attack wouldn't even affect them because both of them would be already running off, and both of them, they'll be running. They would get to the robots. They would work together to break one of the robot's legs, to make one of them tip over, to make an extra obstacle for the rest of the kids. And yeah, they would get to the pillars. They would just jump over them. And the mines, they would just be running, and the mines are exploding as they're running behind them, or they're exploding behind them as they're running, and both of them tie for first place. And yeah, since both of them tie for first place, both of them get 5 million points on their heads, and they decide to team up. And yeah, Uraraka would team up with them and Tokoyami. Yeah, there we go. So that would be their team. They would survive, or they would make it. They would get first place too. And yeah, the 1v1 battles, Deku versus Shinso. Shinso would start talking trash about Deku. Then Shinso would bring up Toga, and he's saying that, and she's just he's just saying mad mean things about Toga. Deku just snaps and runs towards Shinso and just punches him so hard that he breaks his ribs and his rib cage. It sends him flying into a wall. And Deku wins. Toga, I'm gonna say that she would fight. I'm gonna say she would fight. Mina. There we go. Just like Mina. So Toga would win that one. So yeah, and then Todoroki versus Deku. Todoroki's saying, "I'll beat you with only using my ice." Deku's saying, "Okay, whatever." And yeah, the match starts. Todoroki shoots an ice attack. Deku is just dodging them. And every time an attack that was getting too close to Deku, he would just punch away, breaking the ice. Deku would get up close to Todoroki, punching him, but not hard enough to like knock him out of the ring. Just fast punches and kicks. And Todoroki, he's badly hurt. He says, "I won't lose. I won't lose. I will beat you with only using half my power." Deku in his head, he's thinking, "I'm only using half my power too." And yeah. So Deku would say, "I've had enough of this." And he would just punch Todoroki, sending him flying out of the ring. And yeah, Deku wins. I'm gonna say that Toga, it'll be the next match. Toga would be fighting Deku. This isn't the final round, but I skip, or like people usually skip like the semifinals before the real fight, before the finals. So this is like the semifinals. So yeah. So Deku versus Toga. Midnight would say go. Both of them would be fighting, like they will be throwing fast punches and fast kicks. They'll be sending shockwaves and air pressure all around the arena. And Toga gets a good hit on Deku, sends him flying, but not out of the ring. Then Deku jumps towards Toga and punches her hard, punches her too, but doesn't send her out of the ring. And this goes on for some while. And eventually they would get so tired that they want to they want to use their cognates, but they know they can't because they're in an audience and this is recorded on live TV. And Deku, he gets the upper hand and knocks out Toga, and Deku wins. So Deku versus Bakugo. Bakugo's saying you're weak and this will be an easy fight. Deku wouldn't say anything. He would just say, "Okay, whatever, man." And the fight would start. Bakugo would throw explosions. Deku would just be dodging them. Deku would just be punching and kicking Bakugo. This would go on for some time. Then Bakugo would get annoyed and he says, "I've had enough of this." Then he would start charging up his Howitzer Impact. And it would hit Deku. The same explosion as in canon. Deku would be protected by his Kaganes because he let them out at the last second before the explosions hit him. And he would be his shirt would be ripped off, and he would put his Kaganes back into his body, so nobody sees them. And Deku, he has burns on his body, and Bakugo was saying, "How did that not kill you?" And he would charge at Deku. Deku would charge at him, and Deku would punch Bakugo in the face, breaking his cheekbone and sending him flying out of the ring. And Deku would win the sports festival. So third place would be Toka, second place would be Bakugo, and first place would be Deku. So Deku and Toka would be in the top, both of them would get medals. And yeah, they would arrive back at the coffee shop. The man would say, I'm so happy that you guys both got medals, and both of you guys, I saw your fight and it was amazing. Deku would say like it was hard, but I would have beaten Toka easily if I was using my Kagane. Toka would say, "Oh yeah, I've beaten you with your Kagane. I've beaten you without using my Kagane. Wow, you were using your Kagane." Deku says, "Yeah, but that was when I was young, when I was weak, when I was first starting out as a ghoul. But now I'm a lot stronger." And the man would say, "Both of you guys are strong, and I'm both proud of you." Deku would say, "Thank you." Then he'll go upstairs and sleep. Yeah, because he's tired. So I'm going to end it off here. I hope you guys liked it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.